In a kingdom woven into the tapestry of verdant valleys and winding rivers, there ruled a king whose wealth knew no bounds. His palace, a masterpiece carved from the dreams of poets, was filled with treasures from every corner of the earth. Yet, amidst this opulence, a profound emptiness echoed through the marble halls. The king had no heir. The king's days were clouded with worry. He feared that without a successor, his vast wealth might attract envious eyes, turning friends into foes. Desperate to secure the future of his realm, he resolved to find a solution that would ensure his legacy. Summoning his trusted vizier, the king expressed his deepest concern. "Find me a woman of virtue and strength," he commanded. "Someone who can bear an heir to rule this land and shield it from those who covet our riches." Motivated by the king's urgency, the vizier departed at dawn, his heart set on fulfilling the royal decree. The quest was clear: to bring back a beacon of hope, a mother to the future protector of the kingdom. As the sun rose over the kingdom, casting a golden glow on the lush landscapes, the king awaited the vizier's return, hopeful that his command would soon bring forth the dawn of a new era for his people. When the vizier came back to the palace, he had no good news. He had looked everywhere in the village, but he couldn't find a woman who would be right for the king. The king was very upset when he heard this. "You have found no one," the king said, clearly unhappy. "We can't wait any longer. We need to solve this problem fast." The king made a decision right then. "Tomorrow, go and tell everyone in our kingdom that I am looking for someone to be the future ruler, to take over after me. Make sure everyone knows how important this is." The next morning, the vizier did as the king had ordered. He travelled all over the kingdom, from the busy markets to the quiet farmlands, telling everyone about the king's need for an heir. His voice carried across the fields and through the town squares, letting every person hear the king's message. As the day ended and the sky turned orange with sunset, the king stood by his window, watching and waiting. He wondered who might come forward to answer his call and be part of his legacy. In a small village, there lived a man named Zuberi who knew magic, and his sister Amina. They were very poor and had always lived a hard life. Zuberi was always looking for ways to make their lives better. One day, the king's helper came to the village and announced that the king needed someone to help continue his family line. Zuberi saw this as a great opportunity. He had a plan and quickly went to talk to his sister. "Amina," Zuberi said, "this could be our chance to leave our poor life behind. You could go to the palace and help the king by becoming the mother of his future child." Amina was surprised by the idea, but understood that this could really change their lives. She trusted her brother and agreed to his plan. They got ready for Amina to go to the palace, hoping that their lives would soon be better. In the village, there was a man named Zuberi who could do magic. He had a black magic wand. When the king needed an heir, Zuberi saw a chance to change his and his sister Amina's life. He used his magic wand and cast a spell that made the king want to marry Amina. Zuberi was so happy that he told everyone in the village about the wedding. He invited all the villagers to come and celebrate. The king was also very happy and wanted the wedding to be very special. The king used his wealth to decorate the whole palace beautifully. But he didn't stop there. He made sure the entire village was decorated too. It looked like a place from a fairy tale. On the day of the wedding, there was a big feast. The king provided lots of food and drink for everyone. It was a wonderful celebration, and the villagers enjoyed the delicious food. The king also gave gifts to all the villagers. It was a day full of happiness and celebration, and everyone in the village would remember it forever. The wedding of Amina and the king brought so much happiness that the celebrations lasted for 3 full days. Throughout the village, there was nothing but joy. Every corner was filled with laughter, music, and dancing. People from all parts of the village came together to share in the happiness. They ate delicious food and enjoyed sweet drinks. They danced to lively music under the stars. Children played games, and elders shared stories of old times. There was no sadness at all during those 3 days, only smiles and good cheer. It was a special time that everyone in the village would remember for many years to come. They were not just celebrating a wedding, they were celebrating a time of happiness that everyone shared together. After the wedding, the king was so grateful and impressed by Zuberi's loyalty and cleverness that he offered him a special place to live inside the palace. This was a huge change for Zuberi, who had always lived a simple and tough life. Zuberi felt very lucky and proud. He had not only helped his sister find a good life, but had also improved his own situation. Living in the palace meant he could enjoy comfort and safety he had never known before. Zuberi was happy because his clever plan had worked perfectly. Now, he was ready to start this new chapter in his life with great excitement. Now that Zuberi had a place in the palace, he spent his days exploring every corner, observing everything around him. He would meet with his sister Amina regularly, and during their meetings, he would tell her about different things he needed. "Tell the king I would need this," he would say, sometimes asking for books, other times for tools or rare ingredients for his magic. Zuberi had many requests, and each time he asked his sister to speak to the king on his behalf. The king, wanting to keep Amina happy and grateful for the magic that brought him his queen, fulfilled every request Zuberi made. Day by day, Zuberi's plan was working perfectly. With each fulfilled wish, he gathered more resources and knowledge, slowly but surely advancing his own secret goals within the grand walls of the palace. As Zuberi's collection of magical tools and books grew, thanks to the king's generosity, so too did his mastery over magic. Each new item allowed him to delve deeper into the mysteries of the arcane arts. He spent countless hours in a secluded chamber of the palace, surrounded by ancient tomes and exotic ingredients, perfecting spells and concoctions. His magic, once modest, now grew incredibly powerful. With every spell he mastered and every potion he brewed, Zuberi transformed from a mere village sorcerer into one of the most powerful magicians in the entire kingdom. His reputation began to spread, and his confidence soared as he explored the vast potential of his craft. Many years had passed since the king married, and everyone was excited about the future of the kingdom. Feeling happy, the king decided to go hunting in the deep forests near the kingdom. He took his soldiers with him, and also Zuberi, the sorcerer, who the king trusted a lot. While they were riding through the forest, Zuberi found the perfect chance to start his secret plan. Pretending to say a spell to keep them safe on the hunt, he quietly said a different magic spell and waved his black wand. Suddenly, the king and all his soldiers fell asleep so deeply that they couldn't hear or feel anything. Quickly, Zuberi called his friends who were hiding nearby. They came out and helped him carry the sleeping king and soldiers to a hidden dungeon, a very secret place deep in the forest. No one in the village knew about this place, so no one could find or help the king. Now, with the king and his soldiers locked away, Zuberi was in charge and ready to do more with his plan. After Zuberi hid the king and his soldiers in a secret place, he came back to the palace. He told everyone that the king and his soldiers had disappeared in a big storm while hunting. This news made everyone very sad. Taking advantage of the situation, Zuberi said he would be the new king to keep everything in order. He sat on the king's throne and started ruling the village. The king's wife, Amina, felt very sad when she heard this. She had really come to love the king, even though she originally came to the palace as part of her brother's plan. Amina suspected that her brother, Zuberi, had done something bad to make the king disappear. Knowing this made her even sadder because she was torn between her love for the king and her loyalty to her brother. As days turned into weeks, the time finally came for Amina to have her baby. However, when the baby was born, it wasn't what she had hoped for. This unexpected outcome made Amina feel sad all over again. As the days passed, Zuberi took on the role of caring for the newborn. He looked after the baby with attention and tenderness that surprised many who knew his ambitious nature. Zuberi named the boy Idris, embracing his duties as a caretaker and showing a gentler side amidst the palace intrigues. The people of the village quickly grew fond of the baby, Idris. They noticed that he had qualities just like his father, the king. Idris was kind and good to everyone, which made him very popular among the villagers. They saw in him the promise of a great leader, just like his father had been. As Idris grew older, he learned more about his father from his mother, Amina. She told him about his father's kindness and how much he loved his people. The villagers also shared stories with Idris, telling him that his father had been a noble and caring man who always looked after everyone in the village. They recounted the day his father went hunting with his uncle Zuberi and never returned. The villagers expressed their sadness and confusion over the mysterious disappearance, which left a deep impression on young Idris. He grew up hearing these tales, fueling a growing curiosity and determination to uncover the truth about what really happened to his father. After hearing the stories of his father's disappearance, Idris's curiosity grew. He couldn't understand how an entire hunting party, including his father, could vanish in a storm while his uncle Zuberi remained unharmed. Doubts began to cloud his mind, and he decided to share his suspicions with his mother, Amina. When Idris approached her, Amina knew it was time to reveal the truth. She sat down with her son and explained, "Your uncle Zuberi knows magic. He has the power to influence people with his spells. It's possible that he used his magic on your father and the soldiers that day." Amina then mentioned that she knew an old woman who could help them uncover the truth. Eager for answers, Idris and his mother visited the wise old woman, known for her knowledge and insight. As soon as they arrived, the woman looked at Idris with a knowing gaze. She could see that he was a good-hearted young man, much like the stories she had heard about his father. Sensing their need for answers, she agreed to help them find out what really happened on that fateful hunting trip. The wise old woman told Idris that there was a place near the mountains where magical forces were strong and he would have to face them. "If you can pass their tests, you will find a black diamond. It is incredibly beautiful and powerful. Bring it to me, and I will be able to reveal the whole truth to you from it," she explained. Idris, filled with determination, agreed to undertake the journey no matter the challenges. He prepared himself for a difficult path. The way was narrow and the trials were even tougher. But Idris was a true, brave heart, ready to face whatever came his way to uncover the truth. He successfully navigated the trials, showing his courage and resolve. Deep within the mountains, he found the shining black diamond. Excited and hopeful, he carefully took the diamond and returned to the old woman. When he arrived, he presented the black diamond to her, eager to finally learn the full story of what had happened to his father. The wise old woman told Idris about a special place deep in the mountains, protected by magical forces. She explained, "There is a black diamond there, a very powerful and beautiful stone. To get it, you must pass some tests created by the mountain's magic. Bring me the diamond, and I can tell you the whole truth about what happened to your father." Driven by his need to find out about his past, Idris agreed to take on the challenge. He prepared himself for a difficult journey. The path to the mountains was narrow and steep, and sometimes hidden by thick mists that seemed to whisper secrets. When he reached the deeper parts of the mountains, the real challenge started. The magic there made him face different puzzles and tricky questions, each one harder than the one before. Idris used all his knowledge and the lessons he had learned from his mother and the villagers to solve them. At last, after overcoming all the challenges, Idris found the black diamond. It was resting on a stone and shining brightly, as if it held many secrets. Carefully, he picked it up, feeling happy and proud of what he had achieved. Tired but successful, Idris returned to the old woman with the black diamond. He was ready to finally learn the truth about his father's mysterious disappearance. When the old woman got the black diamond, she read some special words over it. As she did this, the diamond began to glow brighter and showed them the truth about what had happened. Idris and his mother Amina watched as the diamond revealed how Zuberi had tricked everyone to take the king's place. The diamond's light got very bright, showing them scenes from the past. This scared the old woman because she saw how powerful and dark Zuberi's magic was. She then told Idris and Amina that the diamond could also stop Zuberi's magic. "This diamond holds your uncle's life force," she explained. "With this, you can end his bad magic and free your father's spirit." She gave the diamond to Idris, giving him the power to face his uncle and bring back truth and peace to their kingdom. Now, Idris had what he needed to undo the evil spells Zuberi had cast and help everyone. With the black diamond in his hand, Idris was ready to fix things in the kingdom. He and his mother, Amina, prepared to face Zuberi. Everyone in the village could feel that something big was about to happen, and they were hopeful yet nervous. One morning, Idris walked into the palace with the diamond hidden under his cloak. The guards knew him as the queen's son and let him in without stopping him. Inside, he found Zuberi sitting on the throne, looking powerful and confident. "Uncle," Idris said firmly, "it's time for the truth to come out and for peace to return to our kingdom." He showed the glowing black diamond, and its light filled the whole room. Zuberi was shocked and scared because he realized his secrets were now out. Idris told him, "This diamond has shown us everything. You can't hide behind your magic anymore. We need to free the king and make things right again." He lifted the diamond up, and it started to shine very brightly. The magic from the diamond spread all over the palace. Zuberi tried to fight back with his own magic, but the diamond was too strong. It broke his spells and showed where the king and his soldiers were locked up. The guards, now free from Zuberi's magic, followed Idris to the dungeon. They opened the doors and let the king and his soldiers out. They were weak but happy to be free. The king hugged his son and Amina, crying because he was so happy to see them. Zuberi, who had lost all his power, was taken away. The whole village celebrated as their true king came back. Peace came back to the kingdom, and Idris was called a hero for his courage and for bringing out the truth. The old woman took the black diamond back to the mountains to keep it safe, so no one could misuse its power again. Idris stayed close to his father, learning how to be a good and wise leader. The kingdom did well, and the bad times under Zuberi's rule became just a distant memory. It was a reminder that truth and justice are very powerful and can overcome any darkness.